The Alishan Forest Railway was inaugurated in 1912. In the past, steam locomotives carried loads from Chiayi at an elevation of 30 meters, climbing to Zhaoping Station at 2,274 meters. The railway extended deep into the Mianyue and Shuishan lines, transporting thousand-year-old cypress logs. Due to the limited power of steam locomotives and the steep and winding mountain terrain, the trains and tracks required special designs, and the railway construction was exceptionally challenging. After the invention of railways in the 19th century, the altitude reached by railways symbolized a nation's power. European countries competed vigorously to build high-altitude railways using the 5 major mountain railway construction methods. The 5 methods are S-shaped routes with 180-degree turns, loop routes and spiral routes, switchback or zigzag routes, rack or cog railway systems, and specially designed mountain trains. For S-shaped routes with 180-degree turns, examples include the Alishan Forest Railway, the Semmering Railway in Austria, the Albula and Bernina lines in Switzerland and Italy, the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway in India, the Kalka-Shimla Railway in India, and the Nilgiris Mountain Railway in India. For loop routes and spiral routes, the Alishan Forest Railway, the Albula and Bernina lines, and the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway are notable examples. For switchback or zigzag routes, examples include the Alishan Forest Railway and the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway. For rack or cog railway systems, the Nilgiris Mountain Railway in India is a representative example. Lastly, for specially designed mountain trains, the Alishan Forest Railway, the Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, and the Nilgiris Mountain Railway all employ this technology. The Alishan region is home to red cypress trees over 1,000 years old, considered the best in the world and a top choice for Japanese construction materials. The Alishan Forest Railway was originally built as an industrial railway to develop the forestry industry. The network includes the main line from Chiayi to Zhaoping and 2 branch lines, the Mianyue Line and the Shuishan Line. The total length of the main and branch lines is approximately 85 kilometers, traversing tropical, subtropical, and temperate forest zones. Starting at Chiayi Station, at an elevation of 30 meters, the railway ascends to 1,403 meters at Fenkihu Station, 1,534 meters at Shizalu Station, and 2,274 meters at Zhaoping Station. Additionally, Zhushan Station, at 2,451 meters, is the highest point on the line. In 1902, the Taiwan Governor-General's Office commissioned Kawai Shirtaro to survey the feasibility of constructing the Alishan Forest Railway. However, the plan was shelved due to the outbreak of the Russo-Japanese War in 1904. In 1906, the Alishan Forest Railway was granted operational rights to the Osaka-based General Partnership Fujita Gumi, which then commenced construction. By 1906, the section from Chiayi to Zhuchi was completed, and by 1907, the railway extended to Liu and Liao. Despite constructing only 30 kilometers of track, costs exceeded 1.3 million yen. In 1908, Fujita Gumi abandoned the project due to financial and construction challenges. The railway was nationalized in 1910, with construction and management transferred to the Alishan Forestry Operations Office. The Beiman Station was built in 1910 and began operations in October 1912. In 1912, the Chiayi sawmill was completed, and by December of the same year, the railway was extended to Zhaoping Station, completing a 67.1-kilometer-long railway line. In 1914, the line was extended to Zhaoping Station, completing the main line, which spans 71.4 kilometers with a maximum gradient of 62.5 per mil. The Alishan Forest Railway has 2 branch lines for forestry operations, the Mianyue Line and the Shuishan Line, both of which are currently out of service. In 1915, the Mianyue Line, also known as the Tashan Line, was constructed between Zhaoping Station and Shirho Station. It was one of the two branch lines of the historic Alishan Forest Railway. From Alishan New Station to Shuishan Station, the route spans a total length of 9.26 kilometers, passing through 24 bridges and 12 tunnels. From Shuishan Station, the trail leading to Shito is part of the renowned Shito Alishan Trekking, a 36-kilometer route known for its breathtaking scenery. However, the lack of accommodations along the way means hikers must complete the route in a single day, making it a popular challenge among young adventurers in the past. The Shuishan Line was constructed between Zhaoping Station and Shuishan Station in 1932, covering a length of 2.95 kilometers. The terminus features a timber truss vintage railway bridge measuring 19.6 meters in length. In 1933, the Shuishan Line was extended to Nataka Entrance, making Zhushan a popular tourist destination during the Japanese colonial period. In 1984, the Zhushan branch line was constructed, primarily for sightseeing purposes, and was completed in 1986. This branch line diverges from the main line 3 kilometers from Zhaoping Station, climbing from an elevation of 2,274 meters to 2,451 meters at Zhushan Station, with a total length of 6.25 kilometers. The 5 fundamental methods of mountain railways worldwide were developed to overcome challenges posed by steep gradients and tight curves. The Alishan Forest Railway incorporates 4 of these methods. The Alishan Forest Railway employs 180-degree turns rather than S-shaped routes. Between kilometer 15 at Zhushan and kilometer 16.9 at Mujilio, there is a 180-degree turn with an arc exceeding 200 degrees, a gradient of 50 per thousand, and a minimum curve radius of 40 meters. To reduce the slope of the tracks, the railway winds through valleys and streams. This method, known as the 180-degree turn or horseshoe curve, is the most commonly used method in mountain railways worldwide. Between Mujilio and Liao lies a solitary hill, Duli Mountain. To adapt to the terrain and enable the train to ascend, a spiral route is employed. The train circles Duli Mountain 3 times, twice clockwise and once counterclockwise, before leaving via a figure-8 configuration. Notably, at the intersection of the figure-8, there is a striking view of 2 overlapping tunnels, with a vertical height difference of 20 meters. As the train traverses Duli Mountain, it appears at 4 different heights, creating a unique visual of 4 loops encircling the hill. This rare and distinctive method is seldom seen in mountain railways worldwide. Between Shizuoka Station and Zhaoping Station, due to limited space and insufficient room for the train to make circular ascents, neither S-shaped routes nor 180-degree turns could be utilized. Instead, the train climbs the mountain on the same level using a back-and-forth zigzagging method. At each turning point, there is a switchback. Between Shizuoka Station and Zhaoping Station, there are a total of 4 switchbacks. Among them, the 3rd switchback is Shinmu Station, and the 4th switchback is Alishan New Station. The train operates differently from conventional routes. At Shizuoka Station, the locomotive initially pushes the train forward from the rear. Upon reaching the first switchback, the locomotive halts, and the switch is activated to change the track direction. After switching the railway track, the locomotive moves to the front to pull the carriages forward. Upon reaching the second switchback, the train halts again, and the switch is activated to change the track direction. After switching the railway track, the locomotive switches to a pushing mode to move forward. It continues this zigzag motion into the 3rd siding and 4th siding in the same manner. This method is called the zigzag technique, as switch points are installed at each reversal point to change the train's direction. The uphill locomotive appears to reverse climb repeatedly, leading visitors to refer to this phenomenon as the Alishan train bumping against the wall. Switches are mechanisms used to control the direction of a train. When operated, they align the middle rail toward one side. Improper operation of switches has been the cause of numerous train accidents. On the Alishan Forest Railway, a serious derailment occurred in 2001 at the Zizulu turnout due to a loose switch. The greatest concern with switches is when children play with them, lifting the switch high in the middle so that it neither locks to the left nor the right. If the rails are not aligned properly, gaps are left on both sides. When the front bogie passes, the track shifts slightly, causing the switch to tilt. Once tilted, the track can diverge either to the left or the right. If the front bogie successfully navigates one path, the rear bogie might follow a different alignment. This discrepancy between the direction of the engine and the cars can lead to derailment. Such derailments often result in injuries. This demonstrates the critical role that switches play in ensuring the safety of train operations. The rack railway system is a climbing rail method where a toothed rail is installed between two running rails. The train wheels are equipped with one or more gears that engage with the rack rail to ascend steep gradients. Although the Alishan Forest Railway does not use this method, it is employed on the Nilgiri Mountain Railway in India. The Nilgiri Mountain Railway reaches a maximum elevation of 2,345.1 meters with gradients as steep as 1 to 12. Using the rack railway method, the railway incorporates 16 tunnels over its 46-kilometer length. Completed in 1908, it features a 1,000 mm gauge and operates with ABT system steam locomotives designed for high-altitude tea plantations, primarily for transporting tea. In 2005, this railway was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Alishan mountain train uses specially designed Chiayi steam locomotives from the United States, characterized by their vertical cylinders and 4 sets of bevel gears. These Chiayi steam locomotives feature a parallel vertical structure with short piston strokes, allowing them to adapt to curved tracks and intermittent operation. Compared to reciprocating cylinders, the vertical cylinder design is better suited to the rail tilt caused by sharp curves. The 4 sets of bevel gears provide significant climbing ability and deceleration, preventing the train from sliding backward on steep slopes. This design is ideal for the uneven terrain, tight curves, and steep gradients of forest railways. Chiayi steam locomotives initially used coal as their power source. Operators would retrieve coal from the coal bunker in the transfer room and burn it in the firebox to heat the boiler's water and produce steam. The steam would then power the vertical cylinders, which transmitted motion through the crankshaft to drive the connecting rods and turn the bevel gears, propelling the wheels. When facing steep slopes where friction was insufficient, the Chiayi locomotives were equipped with sandboxes at the front and rear. These boxes would release sand onto the tracks near the wheels via pipes to increase traction. During the Japanese colonial period, the Alishan Forest Railway exclusively used American Chiayi steam locomotives. The first Chiayi steam locomotive, a 13-ton, 2-cylinder model, was purchased by the Fujita Group in 1908. Between 1910 and 1913, the Governor General's Office purchased 8 18-ton, 2-cylinder Chiayi steam locomotives from the United States, which were assigned numbers 11 to 18. Between 1912 and 1915, 12 28-ton, 3-cylinder Chiayi steam locomotives were also purchased, with numbers 25 to 32. After World War II, Taiwan's Forestry Bureau took over forestry operations. Starting in 1953, diesel locomotives were gradually introduced. Between 1953 and 1955, 4 25-ton diesel locomotives were purchased from Japan's Mitsubishi Company in 2 batches. These locomotives were assigned the numbers 11,403 to 1, 11,403 to 2, 11,403 to 3, and 11,403 to 5. From 1969 to 1972, another 10 25-ton diesel locomotives were procured from Mitsubishi, numbered DL25 to DL34. In 1975, the Forestry Bureau switched to West Germany's ONK Company, acquiring 3 25-ton diesel locomotives, numbered DL35 to DL37. In 1980, 1 additional 25-ton diesel locomotive, numbered DL38, was purchased from Japan, marking the last 25-ton model added to the fleet. In 1981, 5 28-ton diesel locomotives, numbered DL39 to DL43, were purchased from Japan. Finally, in December 2004, 728-ton diesel locomotives, numbered DL45 to DL51, were ordered from Japan. These were delivered between 2006 and 2007 and remain the newest diesel locomotives currently in use. Completed in 1910, Beimen Station was constructed entirely of red cypress wood. At that time, the railway from Chiayi to Zhuchi was already operational, facilitating the transportation of timber. Beimen Station became a crucial hub for timber distribution, housing over 150 timber trading businesses with an annual turnover exceeding 10 million yen. Approximately 10% of Chiayi's population was dependent on the Alishan forestry industry for their livelihood. Surrounding the station were forestry-related facilities such as the forestry office, log pond, sawmills, and a locomotive repair facility responsible for maintenance and scheduling. In 1998, Beimen Station was designated a municipal historic site. The Chiayi sawmill began operations in 1913 as a reinforced concrete structure. Forestry was a key industry in Taiwan during the Japanese colonial period, and the flourishing Alishan timber industry helped Japan establish itself as a major global exporter of wood. To increase productivity, the sawmill was equipped with advanced power generation equipment from the United States, providing sufficient electricity for the entire sawmill complex. Additionally, it featured fully automated drying chambers, which maintained the moisture content of timber at 20% to 30% of its weight. This advanced automation earned the sawmill the title of the foremost sawmill in the East. In 1917, Prince Naruhisa Katashirakawa and his consort personally inspected the facility. Established in 1915, the Chiayi log storage facility included a large storage pond located approximately at the current site of the Chiayi City Cultural Center. The pond covered an area of over 535,000 square meters. Alishan's timber, primarily high-quality red cypress and hinoki cypress, was rich in oil and required soaking to prevent drying and oil loss. This storage pond, known locally as the Cedar Pond, was once celebrated as one of the 8 scenic spots of Chiayi. After World War II in 1945, the forestry operations were placed under the management of the Taiwan Forestry Bureau. In 1978, some railway routes were discontinued. In 1984, construction began on the Zhushan Line, which was completed in 1986. However, the 9/21 earthquake in 1999 caused the suspension of the Mianyue Line and led to the demolition of the old Alishan Station. The new station was rebuilt and reopened in 2007. Partial reconstruction of the Mianyue Line was completed in 2008. In 2009, Typhoon Morakot devastated the Alishan Forest Railway, halting all operations. By 2010, the Zhushan Line and the Shinmu Alishan segment were back in service. In 2011, the restoration of a bridge at the 23-kilometer mark near Zhengnal was completed. Service resumed between Chiayi and Zhuchi in 2012, and in 2013, the rerouting of the Fenkihe to Pingzina section was completed with the Duo-Lin tunnel breakthrough. In 2014, a ceremony was held to mark the resumption of service on the Zhuchi-Fenkihe section, and the entire Pingzina tunnel was completed the same year. By 2015, trial runs for the full route from Chiayi Beimen Station to Alishan Station were conducted. However, Typhoon Duan later that year caused severe damage at the 58-kilometer mark, resulting in delays to the railway's full reopening. The United Nations, in an effort to preserve the historical traces of civilization, has included several mountain railways in its list of World Heritage Sites. These include Austria's Semmering Mountain Railway, which opened in 1854, India's Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, operational since 1881, the Kalka-Shimla Railway, launched in 1903, Switzerland's Albula Line, also inaugurated in 1903, the Bernina Line connecting Switzerland to Italy, completed in 1910, and India's Nilgiri Mountain Railway, operational since 1908. The Alishan Forest Railway has garnered worldwide attention and has forged sister railway relationships with numerous international railways. These include Japan's Kuro Gorge Railway, Switzerland's Matterhorn-Gotthard Railway and Gornergrat Railway, as well as India's Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, Kalka Shimla Railway, and Nilgirai Mountain Railway. Through these connections, the Alishan Forest Railway has established itself on the global stage, becoming one of the world's most celebrated railways. During the Japanese colonial period, Taiwan's forestry industry flourished with the establishment of three major forest parks: Alishan, Tapingshan, and Baxianshan. Among these, Alishan stood out as the most prominent due to its altitude, tree species, and timber quality. The construction of the Alishan Forest Railway enabled the swift and efficient transportation of timber, leading to the proliferation of sawmills and processing factories in Chiayi. This development spurred economic growth and prosperity in the region. The Alishan Forest Railway is renowned worldwide, attracting both domestic and international tourists. In recent years, it has further enhanced its global reputation by forming sister railway relationships with other world-famous mountain railways. Truly, the Alishan Forest Railway is a treasure of Taiwan.